Hello everyone, we are That Tech Guy. I'm James Ringstaff, my co-host,
Brandon V.
and today we thought it'd be fun to go through some basic introductory terminal commands. As most of you know, Ubuntu 16.4 recently released, and we've been having a lot of fun with it. It brings about a lot of quality of life improvements, both under the hood and above on the graphical user environment. And so we thought it'd be fun to just take some time out. We got Joe up and running, and we're just going to crunch through some basic terminal commands. These commands should hopefully improve your quality of life as you traverse through Linux. And it's great for those of you who are just coming from a fresh install.
Like
So,
this guy.
like this guy right here, who just downloaded Ubuntu Mate.
Mate.
Or-
Is that how we're going to say it?
Or Mate, as some people go.
Mate.
And again, 16.4 Xenial Xeris. I
Say
don't know.
that 3 times fast.
Who comes up with these names?
Probably awesome people.
They must be on a totally different level of awesomeness than we are, because that is not. If I had an operating system, that is not.
I think I'd name it something like 108X PQ or just random numbers,
Wow.
numbers and letters that stand for something.
I would give it something simple. I like Android for that because it's simple, it's food
Ice
that I
cream
like.
sandwich.
Jelly bean, that's easy. It's easy. And
Oh my.
it just sounds fun to say. Like you whip out your phone and your friends are like, "Oh, what are you running?" "Oh,
Ice cream sandwich.
Kit
Jelly
Kat."
bean. Kit Kat.
It's fun. So anyways, before we get too sidetracked, again, we have Joe up and running. He looks ready. We got him on this system right next to us. So Brandon is going to type in the commands. We got it up here on the screen for you. So let's get started. Now, after you have installed your fresh copy of Ubuntu, whether 16.4, 15.10, 15.4, or any of the other precursors, it's always a good idea to run an update of the system. So once you've installed it, you've got your extra repositories added, your community sources, you just want to open up a terminal within Ubuntu. You do that by pressing Control-Alt-T all at once. That's going to open up this little terminal shell that you see here. And so we basically just want to do a system update and a system upgrade.
Windows.
What do you got there in directory?
Yeah, I just did a Windows command. It worked.
Okay. Yeah, some of them actually surprisingly do work. And it's nice because if you use multiple systems daily, it's a good thing because there's just so many different commands, and I wish they were all
It's a lot to
simplified.
remember. Yeah.
Yeah. Date and install. We're going to run 2 commands. We're going to sync them together. So you want to start out by typing sudo, sudo, and what that stands for is super user do. So right now, typically
Super user do. Okay.
typically with a Linux account, you normally just run the account as a normal user because you don't want to give any one person like God mode powers over their system, because it's too easy. Even if you are the administrator, it's too easy to just go out and make a mistake and to just kill everything. So anyways, that's another story. But anyways, so most accounts will be typical user accounts, and then whenever you do need to run an administrator task, typically it'll be through the terminal. Sometimes you might do it like through your software store, or like Synaptic for your package manager or whatever, and they'll always prompt you for a password, which is nice. And that's actually one of the reasons why Linux is so secure, because by requiring your password every time, malicious software just can't run. It can't execute. So sudo, super user do, is basically telling the computer that we want to run this as an administrator. So we want full access to this task that we're about to do. So it's going to be sudo apt-get. You're having way too much fun with that. Previous versions of Ubuntu required you to use apt-get.
Like,
Yeah, it would be apt
Like that?
-get. Yeah, previous versions of Ubuntu would require apt-get. One of the cool things with 16.4 is that we're no longer required to type the git with apt. So we can basically just type sudo apt and then whatever command we want to run. So it takes that little extra step out of there. It's a really small thing in my opinion, but hey, it's a quality of life improvement.
I
It's
never
one-
had to use the apt get command, but since that we've been kind of working on this, I've just had the apt, and
and it
it's
works.
kind of nice just to have one simple command to put, because I'm used to using PowerShell, and in PowerShell you always put that little hyphen. Like it would always be something like this, or
Right.
it would be get something like this. And so if I could just say get or
Get child item.
yeah, it'd be nice.
It's nice. You sound like a kidnapper.
No.
Sudo apt get child item. Yeah. See,
Yeah,
it
I
makes
don't
you
know.
sound like a normal person.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, so we don't have to hyphen the get with the apt. It sounds crazy when we're actually talking about it aloud, but trust me, it's a huge quality of life improvement. And another cool thing, getting a little sidetracked here, by typing apt over apt-get, it adds a really cool little progress bar at the bottom so you can see just how fast or slow your computer is poking along.
And the computer that we have this running on is actually a
Slow.
7-year-old Inspiron 1525.
It's really slow. It was,
It's a single core processor. I don't even think it's 2 gigs of, like 2 gigahertz. I don't think the processor runs at 2
It's-
gigahertz. It's like
it's not that
1.8 or
high.
something. I've got 4 gigs of RAM in it though.
amazing. It has HDMI.
It
which
has an HDMI output.
I was really surprised yesterday to find that out. Earlier this week it was running Windows 7 and it was just so bogged down. It took like
Mhm.
30 minutes
We
just
did
to
a
run.
clean install of Windows 7, then we installed Windows 10 so we could have it forever, right?
Just the license code on the motherboard.
Yeah. Now
Then-
we've got Mate.
Yeah,
Mate.
Ubuntu Mate, Ubuntu Mate, whatever you prefer to call it. Mate is interesting, but you know we're civilized, so I guess we
Maybe
should.
Mate's more civilized than Mate.
It just almost sounds like a food item. Like, what's for dinner? Oh, I'm whipping up some mate.
Yo está.
Do you want fries with that? Yes.
Yo tengo mate.
So, all right. So
Yo
anyway,
tengo.
so typing apt, you get the cool progress bar. Saves you some steps. It's easier to remember, and that's important. Saying, we get really sidetracked. We're
Cut?
doing.
No.
Yeah, well, we probably
Keep
should.
going.
We're doing an update and an upgrade of our system because we run an update first, and then chain the upgrade with the little
So,
and
like
symbol.
that?
And then sudo super user do apt upgrade. There you go. Okay, and that should pull something. Now we've actually had this. We've had Ubuntu Mate on this system for about 3 days now.
Maybe, yeah, probably.
Maybe 4. So we've already ran, since the first day we've been running updates on it. So and that's why it moved so quickly, because it didn't have quite as much to get since we've been keeping it constantly updated. But for you users at home, if you're doing a fresh install, you're bound to have,
Take a few minutes.
yeah,
We did this on a Raspberry Pi, and it took.
about 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, it took a little bit.
It had a lot to update. But anyways, after this should be the first default command that you run. Before you run anything else on a fresh install. After you've enabled the community repositories through the software and updates application.
So that's what we just did. We just told it all. Oh, I can
Yeah.
see there where it talks about the repository.
Right, you can see it there. Basically, when you're running Ubuntu, other distributions are similar, but since this is the one that's most widely used, we'll use this one as an example. But when you boot into your system, you'll have an application called Software and Updates. You'll click on that. There will be an Update tab at the top, and you just enable all the checkboxes. So once you do that, you run this update through the terminal, and you will have all of the latest packages for your system and for any applications that you currently have installed. Pretty simple.
Pretty simple.
Alright, so this guy is just now, he's been using this like I said for 4 days now, and he's already a pro at it. It's that easy.
It's really, and especially coming from having to remember all these crazy, weird commands from Windows, it's kind of nice to be able to just think, oh, I want to upgrade, so I'm going to use the word upgrade.
Right.
Yeah, I want to update, so I'm going to say sudo apt. And then it's basically just the only thing I have to remember is update. And that's nice.
It's also nice because once you start installing packages and filling up your machine with various software programs, running this, as long as you install your programs normally, you'll have all the repositories set as you installed them. So running this command will update everything on your system all at once. Whereas like in Windows, if you download Skype, and then if you download maybe a messaging client or whatever, you have to update each of those individually as releases come out. Whereas this is like pulling it from one giant pool, and so it updates it all continuously
nice.
and all at once. So you type that, go make yourself a sandwich, come back. Now have to worry about anything.
Where's my sandwich? Okay.
Moving on. I am not making you a sandwich.
All right, what's another command we can learn?
Okay, so the second most important command that you can run while using Ubuntu after a fresh install is you will want the Ubuntu restricted extras, because there's probably going to come a point where you're going to want to play a DVD and you're going to want to play some audio. You might want to watch a YouTube video. Something's going to happen, and you're going to want to be able to do those things without having error codes pop up. So to do that, as you can see, Brandon's already got started. You're going to do, again, sudo apt install Ubuntu dash restricted dash extras. Simple enough. Press enter and have at it. So these next few commands boil down to commands that I consider for fun. These are extra packages that make your life a little easier, make things run a lot smoother. And what are you doing down there?
Oh, I just...
Fun is not a command. Anyways, so let's just get to it. Being a huge multimedia user, one of my go-to default programs for media playback is VLC.
Oh yeah, VLC.
Yeah, it works really well. It can crunch through just about anything you throw at it. And it's really simple to use.
It's really nice. I like VLC. It's
and-
always my fallback program whenever I
Right.
can't get something to work.
Then talking about it. To install VLC, it's sudo apt install, and can you guess what I'm going to say next? VLC.
Really?
Yeah, that easy. I think you already have it installed though.
Sudo apt auto remove to remove item.
Yeah, so it's already installed. Nothing to upgrade, nothing new to install, no new updates. So it's all there, and it's a current version. So we are good on that one. But that's always a third thing I do whenever I have a new install of Linux. Gotta have my VLC. It's very useful. I won't really get too much detail on what I use it for, but it's handy to have on hand, just because you never know when it might be necessary. There's a program called Handbrake. I highly recommend it. It's great for
Let's see.
mixtapes, DVDs, media.
For things that you own and you want a digital copy.
Yeah, if you own a program and you want a digital copy, that's what I'm trying to think of. Because I do not support pirating and ripping of DVDs.
No, you should support your local
Movie theater, library, that kind of thing.
and Hollywood, your local Hollywood.
There you go. But it's handy because I have a bunch of CDs that I want to make backups of, music CDs, that kind of thing. So it's Handbrake. And you need to type sudo apt install Handbrake for this one.
Oh,
Alright. And this is mostly just, I'm not trying to say that everybody should have this program. This is more to show you how to install programs via the terminal. Because for most of you who come from Windows, whenever you want a program, what do?
I go online, I find a sketchy source, I get a virus,
You download
I download
it.
what I want, then I go and purge the virus.
Go back online, try to find it. It's just, you don't always get a virus. But you have to go online, you have to find the website, you got to find the appropriate version for your
There we
PC.
go, setting up Handbrake, and it's done.
Okay, so you didn't have that one already installed.
Nope.
All right. So that's what it looks like when you actually
So
install a
can't I
program.
say Handbrake?
Yep, you can type in the program name and it will open that program up. This is Handbrake. As you can see, it's a great tool for ripping CDs you own, and other things, backing things up, that kind of stuff. Over is just a few basic movement commands.
Okay.
Change directory. Of course, you do that by CD, and this will bring us down to the root directory.
Oh, I just hit CD?
Mm-hmm. So
Okay.
now we're in the root. If you ask me, it's a little easier to do it here than it is in Windows.
In Windows, you would type CD, and then I guess you just hit that, bam, and that would bring you to the root.
See, we saved 2 keystrokes by doing it this way. Okay, so now we're in the home directory. We can actually list our files that we have here.
Sorry.
I was going to let you keep going until you figured it out. That was kind of amusing. To list, basically, simply type ls.
Oh.
And this is everything in your home directory. As you can see, we have desktop, documents, downloads, music, pictures, public, VirtualBox videos, and a couple other things. So say, for example, we wanted to change directory into our downloads. Well,
Okay.
to do that,
So
we
I
type
do CD?
CD space. You're going to do the little squiggly line right above your tab key. I have no idea. I think it's called a tilde.
Yeah, I think it is called a tilde.
And then
tilde.
forward slash,
//
and then capital downloads. Unlike Windows, I will throw this out there, Linux is very particular about capitalization.
Oh, look, DIR works too.
Mm-hmm. So now that we're in the downloads folder, you can see everything we have in that folder. Listing it in directory will, of course, show everything in there. But we can also go a little further than that. We can see how big the program is. We can see how big it is in a human readable format, so we can actually understand what it is we're looking at. So to do that, basically, just type out ls space s for showing, like showing the size, but it's going to be -s space and then -h for human readable. Enter.
Oh.
So now, you can see that it shows you next to each program. It does it in megabytes and gigabytes how big each document and file is.
Oh, it shows it.
Bring up the calendar. We can display a calendar within the terminal. But before we do that, let's go back into the... What did you just do? I don't press or type in CAL and press enter.
Oh, nice.
So there's our calendar for the month. Today is, of course,
What if I do
June
CAL
6th.
and all?
no. But you can do this. CAL dash or space dash, there you go, 3. There's 3 months.
Oh.
Mhm.
So if I do CAL
Dash
space
Y,
dash,
Y for the year.
nice.
Hmm.
I could probably do 12 months and whatever else.
You probably could do 12.
But why did you do that if you would just type in Y?
Yeah, because Y is just easier. Again, it's all about saving those keystrokes.
Yeah, apparently.
Alright, so that's how you bring up a calendar.
I didn't believe that, but I think it's true.
Right here in your terminal, you actually have at your fingertips a vast amount of knowledge that you can pull on just about any command you can think of. So earlier today we talked about the sudo command, super user do. Well, say we want to go a little more into sudo, like how else can we use it? What tags can we apply to it? Maybe a good description of how it's used. Other forms and phrases, other ways that you can use it. Well, to do that, we can look at the manual pages, or man pages for short. And there's a man page for just about every command or command phrase that you can
that's
think
nice.
of. Alright, so to do this, type in man space sudo.
So I put man first.
Mm-hmm. And this will bring up the man page for sudo.
I
And
just entered it.
there you go. And as you can see, we get a synopsis.
Oh, my arrow keys take me up and down. That's nice.
Yes, we get a synopsis and a nice little description there. And this list right here shows the various tags that you can add to it and what they'll
Group
do.
Help. Oh, so -H is help,
Mm-hmm.
but that's a short one. Login, host, remove.
So you'll find out everything you wanted to know about sudo and then some. So it's very descriptive. It's nice and easily organized. And when you're done, you press Q for quit, and it will bring you out of the man page
Q.
and back to where you were.
Nice.
So the command for making a directory, which simply is mk for make, and this is all one word, dir, mkdir,
Oh, nice.
make directory is what
And
it's
then
done.
I suppose I'll type my directory out that I want.
Yeah, you'll do
Right.
-- documents - now the next word you type is going to be the name of the folder. So as I see up above, you wanted to name it Linux is the best,
Yes.
and you can totally do
Do I
that.
have to put a comma here?
Nope, no commas. Type out Linux, then underscore between each word, so that they're all linked together. And remember, if you ever want to change into this directory from the terminal, that capitalization is important, and that counts also for whatever you name folders. So if
Okay.
you name this Linux is the best, and only Linux is capitalized, you got to remember that, because if
I
you
got
try to change directory into it, and you don't capitalize the rest of it, like you named it, then it just won't work. Linux is really picky about that. So keep that in mind. But yes, now that the directory is made, you should be able to change into it. So we'll let Brandon finish out that command. There you are. It's right there.
And
And
shouldn't
there's
be anything
nothing in it.
Yeah.
Again, quick recap. Updating your system, making directories, changing those directories, looking at your network configuration, and manual pages. And even your calendar. One other quick thing, if you don't have a panel or if you're just in a shell, typing date will display today's date.
You see the time there.
Yeah, so I
It's
think,
kind of late.
yeah, I think I'm about ready for bed.
Me too.
I think this is a good introduction. It's just some really basic, really easy commands for you to do when you first install, and to just kind of get yourself familiar. If you've never used the terminal before, these are safe commands that you can play around with, and you won't kill your system doing it. So
Kill? No, I'm scared
there
of that.
is a kill command. We're not going to cover that on this one.
All right.
So I believe that's going to be a wrap for tonight. Stay tuned. We will be soon working on our second video. We'll go into some more more terminal commands, do a little more advanced, get your hands a little dirtier. But for now, just go ahead and practice with these. Make yourself comfortable making directories, and just overall have fun, because that's what it's really all about. It's just learning something new, having
Wait,
some fun.
I thought it was getting work done.
Well, if you're not having fun while doing your work, you're doing something wrong.
That's true. So have fun doing your work.
So have fun, have a good night, and we will see you soon.
And check out my channel. It's a vlog channel over there, Brandon V. And it's Brandon with an E.
Yeah, if you want to follow the life of this guy, be sure to check out his channel.
Yeah.
There will be a link to his channel down below.
If you look at it, awesome. If you don't have to. It's kind of your prerogative thing.
Yeah, he might be a little sad. So you should definitely go check him out. He's a pretty cool guy. And then, of course, we'll also link. We have a couple articles on our website at www.thattechguy.net. We have a few articles about how to introduce yourself to the terminal. Some of it covers what we covered today. Some of it goes into a little more detail. So be sure to check that out as well. Any questions, comments, or if you have trouble with anything, let us know below, and we usually respond within 24 hours. We're pretty good about that. So have a good night, and we will see you next time.